I'm so excited to be here for episode 27. With me here tonight is Ron Levinson. So, tonight we're going to be talking about back to school and some of the nuggets of wisdom I had along the way. I raised three beautiful daughters. I had a career and there was daycare. Today they have a year, 18 months here in Canada, but then I didn't have that luxury. It was only a month. So, Ron, anything to say tonight?
Well, yes. Hi. I appreciate you having me again, Michelle. I met Michelle a few months ago. She's seeing some pretty amazing results in just a short period of time, and this is a long haul for this kind of a thing too. So, but yeah, the daycare centers, Michelle, are some of the most toxic places on the planet. And I deal with a lot of parents that are fighting with the kids because of they're bringing home all these germs and they're spreading amongst the family, and that's where we come in. Where we can eliminate 95% of that issue. You
Right.
know.
So what we're going to talk about first is I want to just touch on, with children. When I found out about Ron's solution, I went, OMG, if I had had this solution available to me when my kids were growing up, it would have saved me so much in terms of sleepless nights, in terms of worrying about my kids, getting sick myself at times, and having all that whole cycle of kids being sick, getting them, looking after them, getting
Yeah,
them well, bringing it to work, having other people get that whole cycle
it's
of
tiring.
yeah, it's very tiring. And so, what I the thing with it with daycares, I had to put my eldest in daycare from she was 1 month old. And what that meant is she got all these ear infections one after the other. By the time she was 1.5 years old, she was allergic to every antibiotic except
Uh,
penicillin. And at that juncture, I thought to myself, well, there has to be, I can't afford to have her be allergic to the only, penicillin, the only antibiotic that would work on her. So I went looking because at the same time, coincidentally, we had given her one of the antibiotics, and I was visiting in Toronto, where I'm actually right now, and her legs got swollen double the size it
wow.
normally was. Her ears got swollen, her face was swollen, her arms, everything was swollen. And that was a result of this allergic reaction to this
And it,
antibiotic. I forget what it was.
and it
But it,
started at daycare. It started at
yeah,
daycare.
yeah. So in any event, I found homeopathic remedies, and at that time, that was in the 90s. That was in the 90s. So when you look at the 90s, I had actually discovered homeopathic remedies shortly, maybe about 6 months before that. And the homeopathic remedies are amazing. They're energetic remedies. Today, they are mainstream. You can go into, sometimes any supermarkets carry them. Shoppers carry some of the ointments that are homeopathic, the trauma care, and the apis gel, etc. But when I started out, very few people knew about it. Now, the Queen of England uses homeopathic remedies. The whole royal family does. They use MDs who are qualified with homeopathic degrees, because this is Margaret Blackie was the physician to the Queen, and she wrote a book, The Patient, Not the Cure. I actually thought about being a homeopath, and I know a lot about homeopathy just because I use it with my kids. My eldest, I couldn't use regular drugs with her, and then the other part is that with the homeopathic remedies, if you can determine the symptoms and match the symptoms to the remedy, you can actually uh, get a result extremely fast with no side effects, provided you're using a single remedy approach, which is what I like. The last episode, I talked about having a system at home. So the system at home is looking at your whole environment at home, looking at what causes you stress at home, putting in fail safes and putting in systems such as checklists. I mentioned the travel checklist if you're going on a vacation or going camping, going on a picnic. you can get as detailed as you want with that, but it takes a lot of stress out of the picture because then you don't forget things and get there going, OMG, we forgot the matches, or we forgot the diapers, or we forgot whatever. So with this cold plasma, this cold oxygen plasma unit, what I see here is the ability to share the technology. Had I been with this unit back when my children were young and had I known about it,
Didn't
I would
exist
have
then.
I would have I would have paid for the unit for my daycare or
Yeah.
my day home to put it into their facility so that my child wouldn't get sick at the daycare or at the day home. And so, Ron, I think you said you have a program for that very purpose.
Well, yeah, we're working with daycare centers now. I mean, we know where it starts. When you read the statistics on daycare centers, on how toxic they are, they're the number one breeding ground for disease. It's a major fallacy. The old school of thought used to be let your kids be exposed to everything so it boosts their immune system. That's a fallacy. What they're doing is uh, they're putting them into an atmosphere where it's starting to create the diseases. It's starting to create all the issues that children are having because there's so many, they call it the forever chemicals. That's what's in all these daycare centers. There's so many chemicals that the kids are being exposed to. Just their toys alone. I'm sure most parents have smelled that smell they get from the toys, like the plastic toys and stuff. There's so many little things that it's accumulative that children get, and it starts really at home in their nursery because their nursery is the first toxic place that they're going to be. Most parents will spend a good amount of money to have that beautiful little nursery when they bring that baby home, and it's understandable. They want a place for that child that they're proud of, but they don't realize all that new furniture and all those new toys and everything they're bringing in is so toxic that could jumpstart the ADHD, the autism, the cancers. And this has been proven by science. It's not me talking. So that's why we're trying to work with these daycare owners right now. I have a program for them because we want them to use our product. We know what it could do. It's done it. Michelle, you've seen it, and you've seen what it can do. So the program is we'll put a unit into a daycare place on an affiliate program at absolutely no cost to them whatsoever. But then we set them up as an affiliate where they can actually, once they see what it can do for themselves, well, every parent that has a child there is going to want to know about it and want one for their home. Well, this is where the daycare owner can make money with us because they're going to be the nucleus of what's happening. Because when the kids come into their center and the parents come into their center, after a week or so, they'll notice a huge difference, like all the odor's gone. There's so many little subtleties that children are being exposed to, like even the books that they buy for kids, these real thick books with all the pretty pictures and it's got the pages where the kids, and they have that smell to it. That smells a chemical. The
So,
child,
Ron, the thing is, all the things we're talking about, I mean, some parents may think, well, it's not affecting my child because they're not allergic. Their
yeah,
nose is not
yeah,
running, their eyes
yeah,
are not burning.
right.
So it's really not affecting them, right? And
No,
so,
it's wrong. It's accumulative. It's accumulative. Remember, you're never sick to yourself. I don't know about your country. I'm from in Portland, Oregon, and all the commercials on TV are for some kind of drug for child cancer, child this. It's just every disease known to man is at epidemic strength. Every disease known to man is literally got quadrupled in the last 10 years. So when you talk about this, no, nothing's getting better. It's getting worse. From generation to generation, it's been proven by science that each generation's immune system is weaker, their DNA is being changed. So all this is starting from before birth through now they're exposed, they're born, they're exposed to this full strength chemicals, not only in your home, then you take them to a daycare center that has a different group of chemicals.
so
Like
the thing with it is that, we do a lot to sterilize the surfaces in a daycare, especially because you have
is it
all of these little people coming together, and they may have different colds and viruses that they may be bringing into the daycare. and they're touching everything because they don't know not to touch their nose and then touch
Exactly.
the.
Well, yes,
So
exactly.
the thing is though, I also know that, for example, my daughter is allergic to lemon scented pine salt, not pine salt, Lysol. So
Well, all
anything with
that,
lemon,
that's
and she
just
just
more
figured that out
chemicals. It,
recently.
it's just more chemicals.
Right.
That
So she figured out recently that this cleaning product she's allergic to, and if we're cleaning with that, it sends her system into, she's tearing up, she's
right.
getting all stuffy. So now in the daycare there's even more because
It's worse.
it's more concentrated, it's commercial product to clean things.
Exactly.
And
And
now the thing I like, if I could, is that with the cold oxygen plasma generator, there is no known to me anyway, any side effects of using it. It,
zero.
it, it gets rid of so as a matter of fact,
Well,
we have the feeling that we have to keep things clean. So we do use the chemicals, we do use the products. However, this oxygen generator will eliminate the
it's
side effects.
well, no, but you don't need to use those chemicals anymore. That's the
Oh,
beauty. It's sterilizing every surface. The way cold plasma works, from the time you plug it in, it takes a week or two for it to, it's sterilizing every surface in your atmosphere. It killed the coronavirus on every surface they tested on, leather, plastic, glass. So what it's doing is it's literally sterilizing where it goes with airflow. Wherever air is going, it is sterilizing.
so
So
now
that
we have
means all
monkeypox. We have monkeypox in the news recently.
it will first of all, you can't spread a virus from person to person with cold oxygen plasma because it kills it instantly. It kills it in zero point 0.3 of a second. So as soon as I breathe it out, it's dead. You can't get it from person to person. It's physically impossible. If
As
somebody
long as you've had the unit running for about 2, 3 weeks and your whole room is full of it, is what you're saying, right? So just to
exactly,
be
it could
clear.
happen quicker. It depends on the size of the place. It could happen
Right.
quicker. But the beauty in the preschools, there's a misconception. A lot of people think organic products are non-toxic, and that's not true. They're still toxic. They're still affecting you. So there's 200,000 different chemicals that's used in our atmosphere today,
That
and
many?
and they're that there's yeah, and less than 1%'s ever been tested. That they have literally found in newborn babies hundreds of chemicals in the umbilical cord. They know, like we've discussed before, they know what's creating. They've known for years that diseases are being formed and created from chemical compounds in general. They've just never had a solution. This is literally the only solution in the world, and I can back that up and prove that. And the hard thing to understand is the power that this has. It seeks and destroys it. I haven't shut my machine off in 18 years. You know my backstory. Okay, I haven't been sick in 18 years. I have literally saved people's lives. You've had a few testimonials from people that have used my product, uh, like the COPD person that had breathing treatments for years, and the minute, not the minute, but the day they plugged her machine in, it's been now about 2 months. She hasn't had to have one breathing treatment. So we know what it does. So that's why it needs to start with the children. It needs to start with the children. When you talk about a family of 4 or 5, when you think about how many days the kids are sick, how many days you're missing work, what are you spending with doctors? What are you spending on medications? It's all very expensive to get sick today.
And then you carry it to work, and then the
It,
other people at
you
work
carry,
get it, and then they get their family sick, and then the
that's
cycle
the
just
beauty.
moves on.
Yeah, I mean, if someone comes home that's sick, the virus is in their nasal passage and in their lungs. And I've had numerous people that got a machine from me after they got pneumonia or COVID. They get better in a matter of a day or two. And
Why is
I've been,
that?
say what now?
Why is that, Ron?
Well, because it's treating your lungs, because all that bacteria and virus is in your nasal passage and your lungs. That's where your viral infections come from. Your lungs are the engine to your body. Everything goes through your lungs. That you're breathing in all the chemicals, it has to be filtered through your lungs first. That's where the viruses start, either your lungs or your nasal passages. So I mean, it's sterilizing, it's cleaning it up. They use it for heal wounds. They use it for wound healing. It
So does a unit have a smell? Like I noticed there's a different smell
when
starting
it's new.
when it's new.
When it's new, you get a little bit of a smell, then it dissipates. It could take maybe 4, 5, 6 days for it to dissipate.
I had a
So
question today, which is, is it ozone? Is an ozone cleaner, you know?
no. It uses what they call a minute of ozone, no more than what you would breathe in naturally. Ozone what makes it travel. Ozone generators are very, very dangerous, extremely dangerous. You can read all about they could actually kill you. So ozone generators don't necessarily even get rid of toxic gases. See, a lot of people say, well, gee, I got an air purifier. Well, if you do your research, an air purifier doesn't kill any toxic gases, zero on toxic gases. If the actual virus isn't being blown through that machine, it's still in your atmosphere. It's basically a waste of money unless you live in a closet. The beauty of this product, it seeks and destroys your body. It's just like my skin. Okay, I'm pushing 80 years old. So it's treating my skin. They have found anti-aging benefits to it. So there's just so much to it, and I could pass that research on to anybody that would like to have that. In fact, Michelle, we should be posting some of the articles as we're talking to people about what they've discovered, because cold plasma is the future of medicine. I say it's the future of mankind. It should be the new necessity of life. Now, I've had too many people that have been using this for years with me, and they all have the same results. They don't get sick. I don't have any cavities anymore. I don't get cavities because this process kills all bacteria, even drug resistant bacteria.
So when you talk, then the cold oxygen plasma goes into your mouth and it kills the bacteria which would otherwise create cavities.
Exactly.
Because you
Exactly.
need to have the bacteria is what causes the cavities, right? Because when you have the sugar
Right.
buildup, the bacteria eat away
Right.
until they create the cavity in your tooth.
Right. It's just like
From the
my lungs are
biology I
very
know.
clear. For my age, my lungs are so clear. You know, my mucus is as clear as distilled water. You know, so yeah, I'm being sterilized. I mean, I was so sickly. You have no idea how bad my allergies and stuff were. I haven't been sick, flu, cold, sniffles, sore throat, sinus infections, bronchitis. It's been 18 years. And I was in bed at least 3 to 4 times a year for a week or two, always. So that's why I came out of retirement to help people with this. I mean,
Yeah, you were saying, I was wondering, well, like when did you actually start sharing this information with everyone? And you told me just 7 years ago. Why just 7 years ago?
well, I live in the Portland, Oregon area, and I originally got involved in this for my own health. It's a long story. I won't get into that now. That's a 20-minute conversation. But once I learned about this, I met the gentleman that had this particular machine for sterilizing your mattresses. I got involved originally because I was watching this DVD and they talked about dust mites and allergies, and I had all the symptoms. I had symptoms like crazy. And I tried to find someone to come out and sterilize my mattress, and there was nobody. So that's where I learned about mattresses, because your mattress is literally your number one health hazard in your home is your mattress. It has so much bacteria and mildew and mold in them. It's crazy. There again, we need to post this stuff, and so people can
Well,
actually see the articles on
yeah, well, I have a newsletter that I just started, so I might start putting some of the links there that they can click on to get to the different posts.
well,
But
one
the
thing,
mattress, I can actually talk about that because I had my unit running for a couple of days and then I sterilized by basically just taking off the sheets off of the bed and putting it in the laundry and the pillowcases. And then I just put everything upright and laid the comforter on the sterilized carpet, right?
right,
Then turned it around
right,
about at dinner time and then had
right.
it the cold plasma go on the rest of the
I
other
told
side
you
of the
that,
comforter and that
right?
night I
Uh, Yeah.
I think I told you, I laid down in bed to go to sleep and it was like heaven. Like it wasn't just a smell. It was just fresh, but my
Well,
body seemed to just it
yeah.
just relaxed into it was heavenly. It felt different. I think it's also an energetic, your body knows what's good.
Well, your body reacts. That's the problem with mattresses. Mattresses get worse in time. Everyone heard about the term dust mites.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
dust mites are in your mattress. It's the number one cause of asthma and allergies and eczema and skin conditions in the world. Well, what happens? People sweat 26 gallons a year. Take Put two people in a bed. There's so much bacteria and mold. Mold is the number one undiagnosed health issue in the world is mold. 90% of people have mold don't even know about it. It creates all kinds of issues, health issues, mental issues. Well, this eliminates the mold. In fact, I give people instructions every week, leave your beds unmade. Another key thing is leave your closets open. People don't understand how toxic clothing is, especially if you do dry cleaning.
I was just thinking, my cousin actually is getting a unit, and he was saying that his brother has a flat in Hong Kong, and there it's very humid. Can it work in a humid environment?
Yes, it works. It works in all environments.
Because he said they have a mold problem because it's so damp,
It's
and
because
then you
it's
have the
humid, right?
heat, and then you have,
Right.
and then it can get into the furniture too. So I was thinking that this is just perfect for that kind of application as well.
Right. Well, it will never let mold grow, but if you do have mold in your atmosphere, because you can't see it, it's in your walls, it's places that you'll never know it's there. So it's permeating the spores in the air. Well, this neutralizes it. It kills all the spores in the air. If air can get to it in the walls, it kills it in the walls. But anything that's being permeated up through into your atmosphere, it's killing instantly.
Okay, so you won't have the reaction to the black mold and all
No, no,
those terrible
no. That's the beauty
results.
of this. That's how I got involved in it. We started on that story. So I came out of retirement because we had newscasts up here talking about how bad asthma was because Portland's very damp. It rains a lot. So there's a huge amount of mold in the Portland area and radon. So that's when I came out of retirement to start helping people with a mattress sterilization program. And then the pandemic hit. So this was before the pandemic even hit, so uh, at that point we kind of had to put things on hold. And to be frank with you, this product is not sold over the counter, so I don't know of anybody other than maybe 1 out of 1,000 that's ever heard of cold oxygen plasma or cold atmospheric plasma.
But you told me
It's
that 7 years ago you heard that word term for the first time, and that's when you went researching
Yes,
and found out all the other things it did besides get rid of your sinus problems so you could breathe.
exactly. Because I was amazed. I mean, because there again, people don't pay attention to when you don't get sick. They pay attention when you get sick. Well,
That
here it
is
is.
true.
Here it is. I don't know. This was 7 years ago, so I've been using the machine for like 9 years. At that point, I'm thinking, wow, I haven't been sick in 9 years. It must be doing something to me. So that's when I started doing my
11
research.
years. 11. You
Yeah,
said
my
30.
math isn't right. you know. So that's when I started to do it, and it's been amazing. The big key is it's an education process.
Right, right. But
Okay.
anyway, so let's take a break from the cold plasma for a minute. I want to go back to my train of thought with mothers going back to school. Okay, when you're having kids in school, the key things are you need to really take a look at your own health. How can you keep yourself healthy? Well, that is sleep, eating the right things, eating on time, and also making sure that as much as you can, you do not get your energy depleted so you get sick. What's even better is when you have this cold oxygen plasma unit in your environment, it helps to keep away the things that make you sick. So if you're doing all those other things, chances are you won't ever get sick again.
Well,
So,
yeah. Well,
you know,
that's it. I mean, when people understand all those little dust particles that you see everywhere you go, we know it's in your atmosphere. That's called particulate matter. And then you can look it up. That's what's creating diseases because that starts from the outside. So all the industry and all the chemicals that are in our atmosphere, they're like a little miniature sponge that soaks up all these chemicals. Then it comes into your home and you're breathing them in through your lungs. Well, this process takes all the dust out of the air, number one. but it also neutralizes any particle that's out there, even dust mites. It won't let dust mites get in your mattresses too. It kills
Oh,
dust.
yeah, what I was noticing, I told you about it too. So cooking, we were cooking dinner. My aunt was cooking, and I I turned on the, I have a little gauge, so I turned it on. It was red, like the particulate matter was typically about 7, 3, sometimes 0, right? But it went to 45 and it was red. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. Because, and it made sense when you think about it, because when we're cooking, especially Chinese style, there's oil, we're frying things, right? High
Right.
heat. The oil is going into the air, and then the oil actually isn't necessarily good for you to breathe, you know. So the oil is going into the air, and worse yet is if you burn something, then that smell, burnt smell, and then it gets onto your stuff. Well,
Right.
this little cold oxygen plasma I have plugged in here, it actually took the smell away very fast, and then in no time flat, the gauge came back down to green, to 0. So that means that somehow
Well, I
it,
don't know if I ever told you, but this company, the Biosol, they actually make the product that goes in restaurant hoods, eliminates grease and grease fires.
it
They
eliminates
use,
the grease fires.
yeah, they use it. I don't know if you went onto their website, but they actually make a process the same. It's not that machine. It's the same. It's the same technology that goes in restaurant hoods to eliminate the grease and the grease traps and the grease fires. So that's exactly what it does. It gets rid of the grease in the air,
How
just
does it
like
get
you
rid of
thought.
the grease? I mean, we're kind of digressing here, but
Well, you got to understand, grease turns into the a gas too from the heat.
right,
But anything that's airborne, this actual process of cold plasma, even though you can't see it, is 2.5 times heavier than air. That's how it takes dust out of there. It does the same thing with grease
right, right.
too. So it's just hard to understand how this process works, but it just does. I mean,
Okay.
it's been used in high-end industry. There's machines that cost tens of thousands of dollars they use for food processing, for they use it for coating before they coat computer chips with gold. It's the strongest, safest, fastest form of sterilization known to man.
Hmm.
Okay. And that's
Yeah.
why we need to educate the public, because they don't sell it over the counter.
Right. So my thinking is that if there's any parents watching this and they want to find out more about the unit, then they can go onto the show's website, the sparkleexperienceshow.com / your name, Ron Dash Levinson. They'll find your phone number if they need to ask questions, and they'll find links. If they look below, they'll see links to articles there.
Yes.
And then failing that, they can just contact us and ask questions, or come on another show and ask
They
questions.
should they should demand their daycare owner look into it. Every daycare owner, and I don't want to bring it up, but there's articles, 90% of them don't even know the toxicity that's within. They've done tests and asked these questions, and I have the results. Daycare owners have no concept. They just want to put money in their pocket,
But I don't know
unfortunately.
if they just want to put money in their pocket. But
Well, but
but
that's,
but the thing is, they're not educated to
they're
understand
not educated. That's
the
the problem, though.
significance of using certain chemicals to clean, because a lot of it might be cleaning things or bringing things in for, like, even the cushions. If you bring cushions that they're bouncing on, those things have things that off
And
gases as well.
airborne.
I knew about it before, but I had no way of dealing with it, because you need certain amenities, you need certain luxuries, and they all
There is no
off
other
gas,
way to
whether
deal
you
with it.
like it or not. They all off gas, because that's just part of how manufacturing works.
That
However,
that's what's
this unit allows you to take control back. So even though you're enjoying the luxuries of the thing that is off gassing, this thing is going to come and kill it. That's how I look at it, right? So you're
well,
able
yeah.
to, you have the cold plasma protecting your space by sterilizing all of those things and getting rid of the dangerous part of
Right.
whatever is being released. That's
Plus,
how
when
I
you
look at
come
it.
home, I mean, you've been every day you go to work, you're in a different toxic environment. So you're inhaling more toxins that are in your body. So when you come home and start breathing that plasma purified air, it's purifying your lungs and everything that from the day.
So back to
including your,
school or back to work, it could be where, right now we have a special on the show, which is buy a unit for one of the 500 to the 3,000 square foot. And at the same time, if you want to get a smaller, the mouse-sized unit for
for the
your
car.
car or your RV or your small office at work, if you have a
Right,
space that you could
right,
then protect your space when you're working away from home with this little mobile zone, and it's half
exactly.
price for on the show. Or if you don't want the unit, you can just get that alone if you join or subscribe to our membership, right? So,
Right,
so the way I see it is the more you can protect your space, that's a strategy to be able to produce more, to be able to perform at the level you want. Everyone wants to perform, which is at your best level, right?
right.
And
Well, it's preventative. I mean, this
yeah,
is preventative,
that's
you know.
right. And what I talk about in my book, Sparkle and Shine, is that in my years, and I haven't been sick, knock on wood, let me knock on wood, for a long, long time, which is I have, and I share it in my book, which is number one rule is you need to understand your physical level. So what is your energy level? That if your energy drops just a little below that, you're gonna get sick. Just because you've depleted yourself. And mothers, we're bad for that. We run, 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 run. We look after everybody else. Even people at work, we look after people at work. We look after the kids at home, the husband, the cook, the bottle washer, and we don't stop to look after ourselves. And we go below that level, and then all of a sudden somebody walks by with a sniffle and you catch it.
Right.
Because if you talk about the homeopathic, I'll talk about the homeopathic. There's that threshold, that threshold where when the disease condition has a higher energy than your energy of your body, you are going to get that disease because the disease level frequency it's vibrating at is too high for your body it overwhelms your body because your body is lower. So then it will then invade your body and then you'll get sick. So the key thing is, even if you are at work and you have no time, take a 5 minute washroom break, go in the cubicle and close your eyes and just relax and take a 10, even 5 minute nap. It will stop you from getting sick. That's what Margaret Blackie talks about in The Patient, Not the Cure.
Well, I mean, today everyone has different philosophies on what they do for their health, you know. And homeopathic is definitely one of the approaches, you know.
Yeah, it actually is an approach, but it's also a way of observing what's out there. Uh,
It's helped a lot of people too. I
Yeah,
mean,
and the thing is, when I first started using it, I was told that it was poisoning my children. Mind you, all of them are poisonous, deadly poisonous, all the material substances of the homeopathic remedies. Belladonna is deadly nightshade. It will kill you in an instant, right? But the homeopathic preparation is called potentialization, 20,000 times to 300 times shaken and dilute until all you have is that energy in that little vial or in those pills. So it's fascinating. It's hard for people. I think most people take it and don't realize what it is, what the theory is behind it. But for me, I have to understand the theory behind everything I do.
well, I mean, I'm into science and I've researched this. I have thousands of hours involved in it, and like I say, I only repeat what I've learned on more than one doctor, more than one scientific article. You know, because today, I mean, one out of two people are getting cancer. I mean, this I read those statistics last time to you on how many people and what it's doing to our society today. I mean, they call our hemisphere now a chemisphere. You know, there's so many little things that people have no concept of what's creating diseases in them and their children. And 25% of the global world is being affected by textiles, meaning anything fabric, carpeting, your clothes. There's so much dyes and stuff in your clothes, and it doesn't go away. You think when you wash it, it goes away. It doesn't. They're there forever. They've tested children's uniforms for these private schools. Every uniform they tested had high doses of the forever chemicals in them because all these uniforms are putting in stain resistant chemicals and they're putting in fire retardant chemicals. These are what they call the forever chemicals, what is creating all a huge amount of diseases. It's been proven. It's been 100% proven.
Yeah.
You got to understand, cold plasma neutralizes all that. It's amazing. It's just hard to fathom that little machine, which is only like about 10 inches, can do what it does, but it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
It does. I mean,
Well, I guess, it's something that everybody has to look at themselves and ask the question, is it worth it? You know, it's a bunch of a few hundred, not $1,000 for it, but Canadian it is.
what's your health worth to you?
But yeah, it's again,
What?
what's your health? But not even that, the peace of mind. And we spend, some people I know, I have friends who spend easily $10 a coffee a day,
Michelle,
right?
I have saved thousands of dollars by having this machine. I haven't bought any Claritin. I used to spend so much money on medication for allergies and stuff. That stuff isn't cheap either.
But then
Especially
that made
go
you drowsy, didn't it?
made me drowsy. But what does it cost a family to miss work, miss school, go to the doctor, buy medications? Thousands of dollars.
Or you got a
Thousands.
babysitter because you can't send the
It,
kid to daycare.
it's endless.
And
I mean,
then, yeah.
you've only been using this for a short time, and a few of your people already say, "Gee, I, I, I'm not snoring," or "God, the room's so much fresher," or "It's doing this for me, and it's doing that for me," and they've really only used it for less than a week. So I find that pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was 3 days. My brother-in-law said his sinuses cleared up. And he's
Yeah,
a smoker, but he said smoker and the sinuses, it
you,
helped that.
you mentioned smoking. We've got kind of off that subject. This process neutralizes all odors. I don't care what the odor is. So when people get them home, because I've been asked all the time, well, I really don't have any major health issues. How do I know it's working? Kind of a thing. Well, when you have it in your home for a week or two or three, you find like your shoes have no more odor to them. I tell people, take a flashlight, hold up their hand, look at your air. There's no more dust in your air. Put a banana out there. You see that banana will stay yellow for longer, days longer than a regular banana because it's killed all the bacteria. It's the bacteria that changes your perishables.
There's
That's
a
why they
study
use
on
this.
the website, on your on the page on the website, that talks about perishable goods lasting longer
Right.
with the cold oxygen plasma around it.
Well, they've used this in food processing for years. I mean, that's why I say that this process is 30 years old. They've used it in high-end industry. This is what, like when you buy a bag of potato chips that's all puffy and stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
that's what they shoot into the bag before they seal them.
But the thing I like about it in terms of being in the childcare environment is that even if a child comes in and the child is under the weather, and usually children, they don't, they're going to be touching everything regardless, touching everything else.
Right.
As soon as, if that daycare or that day home has a cold oxygen plasma unit in there, as soon as the hand moves away, the
Well,
germs are gone.
especially when they come from the bathroom, they do their
Yeah,
little thing and they don't really clean their
right,
hands. Well,
right.
just by being in the room, it's cleaning their hands.
Yeah, so it's, for me, it's really, for me it's almost like a blessing, right? You don't, there's some, that ability to just relax and know that everything is safe.
Right.
And then with the thought of all of the, as I said before at the beginning, the monkeypox, and there all this drama around the monkeypox is
So
spreading,
much.
this
There's
thing
so
is
much.
spreading, and there's something else happening, and there's measles happening, and all this thing.
Measles. I'm, in the United States here, and right now COVID is going like crazy again. New strains are popping up. Hospitalizations are starting to increase, and they say it's going to be a tough winter.
Well,
Tough
it's
winter.
even, one of my clients, and she had major surgery, and the immune system right now is compromised, and the doctors wanted to give her vaccinations. And you're not really going out and about, and you have this unit in your home, you really don't need a vaccination.
I never got vaccinated, and
A
I've been
vaccine.
exposed to people with COVID many times.
Well, I've
So
never done the flu vaccine. I don't myself believe in
no,
the
I
flu
don't.
vaccine,
I
but
I
this for her, just spoke to her. She says, I need one of these units, especially when it's going into my lungs and helping that to build up and heal.
I know I won't see it in my lifetime, but I hope everyone on the planet honestly needs one of these. When you understand just all the little subtleties that it's doing for you that you don't even realize, but it's hard, it's just,
Yeah. Anyway, it's coming close. We're like a quarter to, so I think how would you like a sparkle?
go for it.
Go for it. Okay,
I
so
could I
we
could use some meditation relaxation.
yeah, well, this goes deeper than that. So if you have any other issues, this is uh this is going to be good because a sparkle is actually just centers and grounds you and brings energy in. And if you allow it, then I can even send some energy your way. So if you just connect,
I'm
feeling
lacking
energy.
energy. I am lacking energy.
Okay, so if we connect to source and you just allow that energy from the heavens to come through and circulate and move wherever it needs to circulate, and just allow as it does as you breathe in all the goodness, all the blessings from the heavens, and allow that beautiful cosmic energy to displace anything and everything that's not serving you, doubts, regrets, sorrows, any kind of little germs that haven't got out, or anything that's affecting you negatively. Just allow this beautiful cosmic energy to displace it, and allow whatever is being displaced to go throughout the window, out the door, or down very own special crystal at the center of the earth. And as it goes there, just allow that Mother Earth energy to just inform that energy in the crystal, to cleanse it, to nourish it, to give it grounding, centered energy. And then once that energy is cleansed, allow it to come back up through the cord at the other foot, right, to join this beautiful cosmic energy already circulating in your body. And then breathe in all the goodness, all the blessings. Breathe out all the things that are not serving you. And then just feel yourself in calm and peace, and see yourself smiling and feeling so great you're running a mile a minute. See yourself feeling on top of the world, just with a huge smile on your face, a sparkle in your eyes, a hop to your skip. Just feeling wonderful with the sun coming down at you, beaming down, the birds singing, the butterflies flying around amongst the beautiful flowers in the field, the water trickling and glistening as the water falls from the rocks. It's, because you have a little waterfall there. Just feel yourself just feeling so wonderful and blessed. Give thanks for everything you've got. Know you're worthy. Know you're beautiful inside and out. And just allow all this beauty to permeate right through you. And then just allow the energy to be stored in your dantian, right where your belly button is. Just allow that energy to come in. Know that energy is available to you 24/7 to keep you energized, especially when you truly, truly need a little more energy. Just feel that energy and breathe in all the goodness, all the blessings, and release everything, all the things that are really not serving you. Anything, the doubts, the concerns, the irritations, the upsets, just allow that to leave. It doesn't need to be with you anymore. All the judgments, all the regrets, sorrows, the blame, the shame, all of that, just let it leave. So just drama, just let it leave, and just breathe in all the goodness. Feel the love, feel the energy, feel the goodness, and just see yourself centered, calm, peaceful, enjoying life at its fullest. Okay, how is that now?
Ready to go to sleep?
That sometimes happens, a sparkle. That's why typically, even if someone lives in the same city as I live and I say Zoom, that's a sparkle session. That way, when I sign off, you sign off, you can lie down and just sleep, or you can get going at what you want to get to, or you can go out in the field or outside and just enjoy the sun, whichever comes, right?
Well, it's hot. We're having a heat wave again here.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 100
A
tomorrow.
hundred?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
crazy. I know.
Yeah, that is crazy.
It's
What?
it's ha- all over the country. Crazy
Wow.
weather.
Yeah, we're not that. We've been a little cool. So we were about 19 last night and 10 for a low, I think, here in Toronto.
Do you have any idea on COVID, how it's spreading in your country at all at this point?
No, I don't think we have any concerns right now. Most people are not seeing it as a threat anymore. There's very, very few people who wear the mask. It's really spotty. Like it's unusual to see anyone wearing a mask.
Yeah, they're not wearing them here, but they're talking about certain areas trying to mandate it again. It's really spreading fast again. So I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, but
usually,
as I said, the one thing I stress with everyone, even, all my clients who I work with, or who work with me as well, is that you need to be aware of your energy level. So there's a threshold level energy at which point you will get sick if you drop below it. If you can stay above it, you will not get sick because your energy is higher than the disease state. So you want to make sure you don't run yourself down because of deadlines and stress and all of that. And be aware that if you feel you're going there, you take a break, even if, as I said, I used to, when I worked corporately, I used to, if I was tired and I had to say up all night with the kids because they're sick, and then I came to work and I was tired, I would actually go out at lunchtime, find a tree, a parking lot with a tree, set my alarm clock on my phone, and actually, I didn't even have an alarm clock. I just set my internal clock, and I just wake up after 10 or 15 minutes,
some people
because
can do that and they get charged, just helps
well, I
charge
would
the,
I would hide so they couldn't see me. I would put my seat right back, right? Because you have to be aware of that level because if you go too low, it doesn't matter how good you are. If somebody's sick around you, you'll catch it.
well, that's true. I mean, I'm a proponent for, I know that everyone is being exposed to these chemicals and can do nothing about it. And we have the only thing that can be done. What breaks my heart is what's happening to the children today. So many children are just born with diseases, and it doesn't happen by accident. It's formed. I mean, it's formed. It's just, they tested people's so that's the thing that, in fact, we didn't get into that, but that's what the chemicals they are attacking is your immune system, your nervous system, and your endocrine system. That's what all these chemicals are doing. That's why the world population's getting sicker today. That's why diseases are on the uprise.
But I
You
think
know,
too, part of that is also the parents. Where are the parents working? Are they working in a factory that where they're exposed to these things
makes
more?
no difference. Michelle, it really makes no difference. It's everywhere.
I know
It
it's
gets every.
everywhere, but I'm saying if those factories were to put in these units, it
Oh,
would
you
help
most
their
definitely.
workers,
Yes.
right? That
Yes.
you were talking about tanning
Yes.
places and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
what I see is it's not just an awareness and an education, but it is just being told that there is a solution because most people don't know about this is not was not a solution before I met you. I
No.
did
Well,
not know about this, and
no,
there was no practical
I know.
way to battle any of this other than just actually thinking about what you bring into your home and hoping that what you bring in was okay,
Yeah,
right?
but the problem, hope doesn't do anything. No,
Found
what
out
I'm
about
getting at is that's why every disease is at epidemic strength. It's doubled and tripled, quadrupled over the years. They talk about young children today with anxiety and depression and stuff. Well, us growing up, we didn't have that kind of stuff. But now they've proven that what's happening is the children's bodies are small. They're absorbing so many different chemicals that their body can't handle it. And it's called body overload. And that's what's creating the depression and anxiety in children today. I mean, I didn't make this up. So that's what they're talking about because it's not normal for young children to be Look at the suicides today. Children, I mean, how's the mind functioning today compared to when we were children? You know?
Oh, what would be interesting is if there are parents who know their children are really stressed out to put one of these units in their home and see if there is a difference after a period of time in just without doing anything if
Right.
this unit makes a difference. But I would then take one of the gauges like the one I borrowed from my friend and do a benchmark because I like data. So I do a benchmark before I put a unit in by testing each of the rooms and just keep on taking samples as over time over the first little while and seeing what the levels are and seeing if it drops and then seeing then later on if there's an effect on the individual. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
Yeah.
all about getting data because for me that says everything. It's for the people to give this a try, see if it's worth the investment because it is an investment, a small one, not a big one, because air conditioners cost way more than this unit.
So people know this will actually help your air conditioning system because the coils get all that dust and crud on it. This is what they use for keeping it clean because it takes all the dust out. I actually took my filters out of my air conditioning systems because there's no dust in my air. So the filter, it actually gets better airflow.
It actually gets rid of the buildup of dust around.
When you go back home and you start using your unit on a
Yeah.
regular basis, in about 3 or 4 weeks, look at the light stream shining through your window. There's no more dust in your air. In other words, your air conditionings aren't sucking it in your filter systems.
So what you're saying is when the cold oxygen plasma hits the dust, it weighs it down, so it falls down to the
Yes,
ground, and then you
yes,
can sweep it up.
yes,
Instead of
exactly,
being stuck on the coils because of gravity, this thing is
exactly.
heavier, so it weighs it down. So
Plus, you
it
build
will
up bacteria and
it,
stuff in your
it
ventilation.
weighs, so it displaces it off of the because it's moving, right? The plasma is
Yeah,
moving.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
moving whether it's moving down or sideways out of the unit.
Right. You will
So
see
that's
no
why
more.
your filter is not looking dirty.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's why, like I say, that's it's what if you read what science talks about the particulate matter, that's global. That's
Yeah, yeah,
global. You
yeah.
know.
Anyway, yeah, we're almost at the top of
All
the hour.
right.
I want to thank you, Ron. It's been fun. I mean, I don't know if I got my nuggets out for the back to school, but I think I did. You know,
Well, I think
my thing is all about health, right? If you're healthy, back to school will be fun.
I hope there's mothers that listen in and at least want more information because we need this in daycare centers are breeding
Schools,
fit.
schools are good too.
School, all schools, all schools.
Yeah,
The big problem for me is public schools don't want to talk to anybody about anything, so it's real hard. The private schools, we can do fundraisers for them. There's all kinds of different things we can do for schools where they're actually making money by using our product. Besides protecting the children, they can do it as a fundraiser for the parents, so they have them for their home. They can make income for the schools too. So there's all kinds of programs I do for schools too. We want to protect the children. That's where it all starts.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so if anybody
Anyway,
has
I
any,
really appreciate you sharing your knowledge, Ron. I learned a few more things today. You know, it's good. We're always learning, we're always exploring, we're always looking at different ways of seeing how we can optimize use or understanding of how this technology can help us and get it out to the world. You know, that's a
it's the
thing.
future. It is the future. It
Yeah.
is the future. No
Yeah.
question about
I hope that people, you know, if you will find there's a value in this, share, like, subscribe, register for the live Zoom call, even if you're watching the replay, because then I can get the email address. Then when you subscribe to the YouTube channel, then we can invite you to the membership. When you join the membership, then you can get access to special exclusive offers. Right now, there's one for the MobiZone, which is the small mouse-sized one. That's a half price there plus shipping.
it. Right.
And
Right.
then outside of that, just being on the website for the show, you can get the PR units, which are the 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 square foot units,
Right.
and buy the mobile zone for half price, which is 150 versus $300. without
Right.
chipping because we'll just include the mobile zone with a
The
bigger.
mobile zone, if people don't know, is for the cars. And people understand cars are very toxic too. We won't get into that today. But cars are creating cancer in people. Remember that new car smell? All
Yeah,
chemicals.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
For on my side, if you are part of the membership, you get exclusive offers in there too. And right now, I haven't really publicized it, but I'm thinking of a weekly sparkle where you subscribe for only 19.97 a month, which that is pretty priceless because when you get my time for sparkle sessions, that's a giveaway. So that offers in the once you join and become a member of the community. And I might change that to once a month, but if people sign up fast, I might get stuck with a once a once a week. So if people start signing up, then I'll be stuck with doing it weekly because that ties me down, right? So
Right.
right. So, and then Jade will have my co-host will have an offer in there coming up for her program to help you with your tech issues. So, anyways, it has been a pleasure, Ron. Again,
Thank you, Michelle. My
lots
pleasure
of
too.
knowledge. And the daycares, I hope many daycares will take you
I
up on
hope
the
so. I
offer
hope so too.
and call us up with questions too.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to spend time with anybody. Thank you.
Right. So on that, good night. See you
Good
again
night.
next time. The next show will be September 18th, Wednesday. And thank you so much.